What's up, Raider Nation, and welcome back to another episode of the RAIDER Ramble Show. I'm your host, Raider. I hope everybody's doing good, staying quarantined, washing your hands on a regular basis so we can get past this whole situation we're in the world right now. As a nation, sooner rather than later. Today's show is going to be packed. Today we got the draft preview. Today, I'm gonna be revealing mock drafts and talking about the draft. But today's guest is Instagram fan page Raiders_Nation on Instagram. So go follow him. He hails all the way from New York. So that's why, if you guys haven't realized, that the podcast is coming a little earlier than usual, because it was really hard for us to set up a time, considering the fact that he's 3 hours ahead of me because he's in New York. So let's go ahead and welcome in Raiders_Nation Instagram fan page to the show. He has been waiting 2 weeks to come on, and now let's welcome him into the show. All right, everybody, let's welcome in Raiders Nation. Raiders Nation, welcome in. Do you want to say anything about yourself?
Thanks for having me on the show today.
Yeah, you've been waiting 2 weeks.
Yeah.
All right, like I said, he hails from New York, so he's repping the Raider Nation proud out there in the NYC, huh?
Yeah.
That's great. All right. So like I said, today we got an action-packed show. So the draft's in next Thursday. Today's Wednesday when this is being recorded, but next Thursday, so in 8 days, Ray Guy numbers. Are you excited for the draft?
Yeah, I'm excited. I think we're going to get CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah, it's going to be really different since it's all virtually. For you guys listening out there, if you guys follow me on Instagram, go ahead and go enter my little raffle. I'm going to be doing a Raider Nation virtual draft watch party via the Google Meet app with 15 lucky fans. So if you want part of that, either hit me up or go enter the raffle. Raiders Nation here is going to be part of that too, so that's going to be fun. Well, let's get into the draft show here. So, Raiders hold picks 12 and 19. We obviously don't hold the second. We have 3/3, 80, 81, and 91. So we got tons of picks. You think we'll end up trading into the second round?
Depending on who's on the board. I think we like Jalen Hurts a lot, though.
I don't see us getting Jalen Hurts, to be honest with you. We don't need another quarterback. With us signing Mariota, I don't see it,
Yeah, I agree there.
Yeah, I just don't see it. So, I had us both do a Raiders mock draft via, I think it was Pro Football Network or something like that, the Draft Network.
Yeah.
So, you wanna read off yours and then I'll read off mine?
Yeah, pick 12, I have CeeDee Lamb. Pick 19, Christian Fulton. Pick 80, Chase Claypool from Notre Dame. Pick 81, Troy Dye from Oregon. Pick 91, Zach Moss from Utah. Pick 121, Nick Coe from Auburn. And pick 159, Tyler Johnson from Minnesota. That's
a really good mock there. You got defensive heavy players. I like Nick Coe. I want Christian Fulton. I feel like he's good. Obviously you kept, I think, all 3/3, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, good mock draft there. I would give it a B. That's great. I wouldn't mind that haul at all. All right. So my mock draft at pick number 12, the Raiders select CeeDee Lamb. I got really lucky here because the Jets actually ended up picking Tristan Wirfs from I think he's from USC, or is that Austin Johnson? I know he's one of those two, but anyways, the Jets ended up taking an offensive tackle. So, pick 12, CeeDee Lamb. I ended up trading with the Eagles, and let me read you that mock trade real quick so I can get us into the second round. So I gave up a lot. I gave the Eagles pick 19, pick 80, and 2021 second round pick for pick 21 and pick 53 in the second round. What do you think of that?
I like that trade, moving into the second round there.
Yeah, I did.
I
did too. I really thought it was good. So, anyways, So at pick 21, and this is probably my favorite player of the draft. He's actually really good. This guy's a man-to-man corner. I was really amazed with him when I did a Raider Nation draft profile video on him the other day. And that's Jeff Gladney from TCU, cornerback. I like that kid a lot. I think he's my favorite. He's my top cornerback in the rankings, so I like him a lot. Pick 53, I was praying that I was going to get the steal that I wanted, and I did. I ended up getting probably the draft's biggest kept secret, and Kyle Duggar from Lenore Ryan.
Yeah, I like him as a player. I was watching his tape the other day. He's a good player.
Yeah, he's probably the NFL Combine's darling. You know, he's the biggest kept secret. Rangy safety, probably a sleeper first for the later picks. I know the Cowboys are really interested in him. He has a lot to offer, especially to a program that really hasn't had any good draft picks come out. Okay, so I pick 81 in the third round. I had the Raiders selecting Troy Dye.
I have the Raiders selecting him too. I think he's really good and be a good rotational piece on our defense.
That's exactly what I was going to say. He'd be the perfect rotational linebacker with Marquell Lee and Nicholas Morrow in the third packages, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, he would really be good. All right, pick 91, I got Jacobs a running mate in A.J. Dillon from Boston College.
I love A.J. Dillon. I think Zach Moss will be a better player behind Jacobs, but A.J. Dillon would be a good pickup.
You can't go wrong with either one of those guys. I mean, Zach Moss is just as good.
Yeah.
I like the way that Dillon runs a lot. He's a workhorse.
Yeah.
Same goes for Cam Akers. Cam Akers is a ground and pound back. I like him too.
I love Cam Akers.
Okay. So I pick 121. Call me a homeboy, but I picked my homeboy, Niti Mutiny, guard from Fresno State. I've seen this guy in person, and I'll say this, and I've said this, and I'll say this again. He has good footwork. He's a good blocker. Has the right amounts of weight. Eats good. I mean, he's a great guard. I know a lot of you guys are thrown off, but here's my thinking. Okay, my thinking is that maybe we can go ahead and have Incognito coach him up for a year and a half, and then have him take over when Incognito leaves.
Yeah. Or what if Desmond Good goes down? Or he starts struggling during the season.
Yeah. And then my last pick, because the Raiders don't have a 7th rounder, which is really weird. I didn't even realize that. At pick 159, I ended up going wide receiver Juwan Johnson out of Oregon due to the fact that this is a really, really deep receiver class, and you can't go wrong with two of the guys.
Yeah, I agree with that pick right there. We need to add more receivers to this team.
Yeah. So, what do you grade my mock?
B.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind either one of our hauls.
Yeah, either one's really good.
All right, so now let's talk about what if. Okay, now my question to you is, what if both Henry Ruggs and CeeDee Lamb are there at 19, but yet we end up picking somebody like C.J. Henderson at 12?
I still think no matter what, we go wide receiver at 12.
Yeah, I do too, but Mel Kiper, Mel Kiper gives me migraines all day. Mel Kiper has to be the worst draft analyst that's out there. Oh, he has us going. He is terrible. Yeah, he's terrible. He has us going with Jordan Love at 12 and Henderson at 19.
Yeah, that's bad.
I mean, there's no need for a quarterback. Yeah, it's like, okay. I think he has a personal vendetta against Carr. I'm just going to throw that out there. I think he does.
Yeah, I think he's basically the same quarterback.
Exactly. We're not getting much difference. If there's an NFL comparison for Jordan Love, I'll even throw you Derek Carr. I mean, they're not much different.
Yeah, they're about the same kind of quarterback.
Yeah. So, all right. So, how about most surprising pick the Raiders could take at pick 12?
I see maybe Ruggs over Lamb because speed, and Gruden loves speed.
Yeah, and a lot of these fans don't realize that lucky enough for the Raiders, we have pick 12, Jets have pick 11, and Niners have pick 13. Editor's note, by the way, in my mock draft, the Niners ended up picking Justin Jefferson at 13, who I think is the most overrated receiver in the class.
I agree with. I think he's the most overrated receiver in the class.
He's like, there's nothing. I don't know. I don't see why he's overhyped. He's overhyped. That's the problem. Is that?
Yeah, in my mock draft, Herbert fell to 19. If he's there, do we take him?
Herbert? No. As nice as that would be for a fit with Gruden's offense, no. All right, and one more note on Jordan Love. Jordan Love in my mock draft ended up going 73rd overall to the Jaguars.
In that case, I think Gruden trades up and gets Jordan Love.
if we really need him, yeah, that's just.
If he falls that far.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah. So now let's go ahead and. What are your expectations for the draft overall?
We got to add at least 2 wide receivers, a corner or 2, and I think a good running back behind Jacobs.
I think those are our biggest needs. Like, a lot of these fans don't realize, like, they're all upset, oh my God, we're not going to get CD, that's not good. Listen, I know all of us want CD because he's the better fit overall with our offense, but here's the thing. Lucky for us, we're going to get one of the big 3. So you really can't go wrong with any of them.
Yeah. There were reports that we like Judy better, but I don't know if those are true.
I think I would go Ruggs over Judy, honestly.
Yeah, same.
Henry Ruggs is, he's probably going to be I see him being the first receiver taken. I think it really depends what the Jets decide to do. Hopefully they take an offensive tackle because, honestly, they don't really need a receiver as bad as we do. That's the thing.
If the Browns end up trading Odell before the draft, then they're going to need a receiver too. So we got to think about that.
Yeah. It's just a game on how I think for the receivers, you still got to start paying attention at pick 10.
Yeah. I agree there.
Yeah. Like I said, at pick 21, I ended up picking Jeff Gladney. I wanted to trade into the second round really bad. So honestly, I wouldn't mind if the Raiders packaged 21 and let's say 81 for a second later on.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. The one thing is, we need to add a cornerback.
We do need a corner. Mullen can't do everything himself.
Really, the thing is too is the Raiders only have 3 rostered cornerbacks, unless you want to consider Keyshawn Nixon too. But they have Nevin Lawson, Trayvon Mullen, and
Isaiah Johnson.
There you go. Yeah. So it's like those 4 can't do it. Mullen's the only one that's proven.
Yeah.
Wardley's still out on the street. So I don't.
I think the Raiders have high expectations for Isaiah Johnson this year.
Let's hope so. Poor kid broke his face last year in the preseason, so it's hopefully he can bounce back.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping. How about what do you consider as your biggest disappointment in the draft for the Raiders? Let's say they pass on CeeDee Lamb and any receiver at 12, and they just pick somebody like an offensive lineman.
That'd probably be the worst scenario. We picked an offensive lineman.
They better not go out there and pick somebody like Mekhi Becton. I don't see it. So yeah, let's hope for the best with the Raiders in the draft, man. I really am hoping that everything ends up well.
I hope we get a receiver in the first.
We're definitely going to get a receiver in the first. A lot of you guys are also saying the Raiders should draft Jalen Reagor out of TCU. Listen, 12 is too high for him.
Oh yeah, that's definitely way too high.
It even shows. All right, so now we're going to go ahead, and I actually had, shout out to Raiders Nation here, I actually had him do me a solid, and we gathered some draft-related questions we're going to debunk here, and We'll go from there. So I'll read my questions first that I got, and then I can have you read yours.
Okay.
Okay. So Ian Swanson asked, "Who's your favorite prospect?" Okay, this is gonna surprise a lot of people, but listen, I've been studying Jeff Gladney a lot ever since I started watching his tape. I think he's my favorite. He's a man-to-man corner. He doesn't play zone. He's not afraid to go ahead and hit somebody. He's got really good instincts. Kind of those type of instincts you would guess we should have had in Carl Joseph. But, you know, he knows where the ball is. He's good on route running. Like, he can break a route with ease. Like, he's your complete package at corner. I honestly think he's a better overall fit for us instead of Christian Fulton at 19. Even the draft analysis are saying that. So, overall, I think my favorite prospect, as surprising as this may sound, is probably gonna be Jeff Gladney from TCU.
My favorite prospect is Lamb because his run after catch ability is just so good. He can score touchdowns on screen routes, slants, anything that you throw him.
Honestly, yeah, he's a beast. He's built like that. So you don't get very many athletes built like that anymore.
Yeah.
All right. So next question here. We actually have a plethora of questions from Raiders.wire. So his first question is going to any Raider games this season. I live too far to go from my area to Vegas. I probably would have to make a whole trip out of it during Thanksgiving time or something back in November during the holidays. I don't think I'd be able to. I want to, but I don't think I'd be able to go that far.
I'm going down to New England this year when we play at New England and at Carolina.
And that's easier for you because you're right there, huh? Everything's in like flying distance.
Yeah, and I'll probably go down to New York to see the Raiders Jets again.
Now let's hope that this whole cough goes away by the time the season rolls around, or else those trips won't be happening.
Yeah.
Stay quarantined, guys. But yeah. So next question is favorite running back in the class. I'm gonna go Cam Akers. A lot of people are saying, "Oh my God, DeAndre Swift is gonna be so good." I don't see it. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, he's good too, but I don't. I like Cam Akers because he's a ground and pound running back who's not afraid to fight for yards. He's built right, you know. He's got a good sense of speed. Kind of has like a hop skip when he starts running. Like, it's really interesting to see his technique in running the football, and that's why I like him a lot. I'm gonna go Cam Akers. Well, who's your favorite running back in the class?
I agree with Cam Akers. I was just watching his highlights a few days ago. He would be a perfect running back behind Jacob.
That's what I'm saying. He would be a perfect Raider for, you know, like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next question is, why do you want CD? Give me 3 reasons. Okay. So reason 1 is because he grew up a Raiders fan and he really wants to be a Raider. At some point in the college football season, he actually was wearing a Fred Biletnikoff jersey during one of the Oklahoma games, getting off the bus to go play somebody. So that's the Raider way. 2, he's a lengthy receiver. He may not be fast as Ruggs or Judy, but unlike Judy or Ruggs, he doesn't have drop issues. And he's a complete package. Like, we talked about his route running and his hands. He can basically catch everything you throw to him. He's good on the comeback routes. So, I mean, basically dream scenario. And 3, which a lot of people don't seem to understand, is we all want CeeDee Lamb, even though most people want Jerry Jeudy, because he's a good fit with Carr. He's a good fit with Carr in the sense of he fits our scheme, and he can basically run any route Gruden draws up. He can basically take on that load that the clown was supposed to take on before he ended up getting cut. So those are my 3 reasons why I like CeeDee Lamb.
My 3 reasons, I think, during the combine he said he'd like to work with Carr, and I want a receiver that wants to work with our quarterback. I think that'd be huge for the scheme and the culture that we build around Vegas. Also, I love his run after catch ability.
Yeah.
I keep saying that until he's a Raider. I love that running after catch ability. And like you said, he could run any route. He's going to take the role that AB took when he was supposed to be a Raider.
Couldn't agree more. And you know, a lot of people that probably don't pay attention to the Raiders as much as us fans do are like, well, Amari Cooper wanted to be a Raider. No, he didn't, because he dropped, he would cry, he would whine, and he would pound. You know, we don't need that on our team. We need somebody who's dedicated. So that actually means something to Raider fans.
Yeah, I agree there.
Yeah. So, let's see. Is there? I think there's like. No, that's it. Because the rest of them are bots. All right, so let's go ahead and have you read yours.
Do you think Chase Claypool will turn to a tight end in the NFL?
No. He's too big to be a receiver, tight end. I don't see that. I never even considered that as a possibility. I don't know where that came from, but what do you think?
I don't think so either. I mean, I've seen people say it, but I don't see it.
I don't think he's, you know, he would have to be like the same kind of prototype that Jalen Hurd was coming out of Baylor when he got drafted to the Niners. Was supposed to be a running back, didn't want to injure himself and turn into a receiver. Claypool doesn't have those kinds of traits, so I don't see that at all.
Yeah. Next question. Would you be happy with CD at 12 and CJ Henderson at 19?
No doubt. I really would be. I like, you know, obviously we want CD, so I don't have to debunk on him. I'm not sure if I can get behind CJ Henderson, though. It's really hard to get behind any of these cornerbacks in the draft class this year. CJ Henderson needs to work on his coverage abilities. They're not good. They're not crisp. You know, they're not. He's going to end up getting burnt in coverage. You know, he kind of reminds me of the route that DeAndre Baker has taken with the Giants. You know.
Yeah.
So he's more of a project to me, which is why I want Jeff Gladney. I feel like him or Christian Fulton would benefit us better. Which also, I don't understand why C.J. Henderson is getting so much hype.
Henderson also has a tackling issue.
Yeah, he misses on a lot of tackles.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't understand why C.J. Henderson is getting so much hype. He's overrated. I think him and Justin Jefferson have to be the most overrated players in the class.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I agree.
So next question.
Should the Raiders draft a cornerback first or a wide receiver?
Receiver first, cornerback second.
Yeah, I agree. We need a receiver really badly.
I mean, do you really think that Zay Jones is going to take number one? You know, Tyrell Williams is still recovering from his foot injury, whatever that was. He's not going to be the same. So yeah, receiver definitely. In fact, I would be ashamed in the Raiders if they don't take a receiver first.
Yeah, will the Raiders make the playoffs next season?
Okay, well, and this goes back to the question about the record. You know, we don't make it if the record's not good. Okay, so I see us fighting on the edges, on the rough edges till the end for a wild card spot. I don't see us, you know, being 12-4 or one of those surefire 13-3 teams. I think, honestly, I'm gonna say floor 8-8 and ceiling 10-6.
Yeah, if we stay healthy, we definitely are a wild card team.
The interesting thing about the NFL schedule is let's say we win. Let's say we go 3-1 within the first 4 weeks. Yeah, we're probably gonna make it. If not, that's what I've kind of. Go ahead.
Depending who we play the first 4 or 5 weeks, we'll see what kind of team we are.
Yeah. My thinking is actually that Tampa. We're going to end up facing Tampa Bay week 1 on Monday Night Football on the new, Allegiant Stadium. So, I don't know.
That's gonna be a tough one. Tampa's gonna be tough with Brady.
Yeah, they got. People don't understand how talented and how well-rounded Tampa Bay is. Like, they really are.
Yeah. You're going to need a good secondary to cover that team.
Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, O.J. Howard,
Cameron Brink. Yeah, they're a pretty good they're a really good offense.
So, honestly, I think that'd be a tough team for us to beat. Same with the Saints. And a lot of people are saying that our schedule is easier this year. I think it's harder.
I do, too. We got a lot of tough teams.
We got to go through the NFC South. Probably, honestly, the easiest NFC South team to beat this year is probably going to be Carolina, only because they're going through a rebuild.
Yeah.
And
Atlanta's going to be good again. Atlanta will be good this year.
Their uniforms won't be good, but yeah, I think they'll be good.
Yeah.
God, their uniforms are awful. Oh dear. Oh.
I know.
Anyways, then you got teams like Minnesota. I think we got to play Minnesota. We got to play New England too. I mean, New England should be pretty easy to beat, but I mean, it's Belichick,
We got Cleveland.
Cleveland's not going to be easy to beat, so.
Yeah. Buffalo isn't going to be easy.
Nah, but Buffalo's going to take over. Yeah.
Depending on if Miami drafts well, they're going to be a pretty decent team, average team.
Yeah, they're definitely better than last year. Also, a lot of you guys are saying, oh my God, schedule's easier. Well, listen, we got to go through Mahomes twice a year as it is. So we're screwed.
Yeah, we are screwed. Mahomes is just that good.
We can't stop him. Honestly, and a lot of Raider fans are going to hate me for this, but I've accepted. If we lose to the Chiefs twice a year, whatever. Like, I've accepted it. We're not going to beat Mahomes for a while.
Yeah, we got to get a really good secondary to beat that team.
We're not getting to Mahomes for a good minute. It's not going to happen. What the scary thing is, we got to deal with him for the next 15, 16 years. So, yikes. So yeah.
Yeah.
Answering your question, I don't think that our schedule is easier, and I think it's harder.
Yeah, the Chargers won't be bad either. They have a really good defense on paper.
Yeah. So I think our schedule is harder, and I think we could maybe win 9 games, 10 games. So yeah.
The easiest team we have that's not division is probably the Colts or Miami.
It should be interesting to play Phillip Rivers on the Colts.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Did you get any more questions, or was that it?
I have 2 more. Who's going to be better, Farrell or Crosby this season?
Ooh.
I got Farrell.
This one's really hard only because, see, Farrell was kind of iffy last year. He had issues with his hand placement, his strength, his technique, But, I mean, we all know Crosby, who should have been Defensive Rookie of the Year, we all know that he just freaking blew up last year. And NFL defenses, and this actually goes for the same for Darren Waller. Darren Waller went down the same path. But, these teams are going to realize now that they got to start triple covering the guy. They're going to put like 2 nose tackles, maybe an extra little weak side linebacker on Crosby. Meanwhile, people don't see Farrell as proven, so they're going to leave him wide open. On top of that, Farrell has been working out with DeForest Buckner and Eric Armstead with the trainer in Miami. So, I mean, he's been putting in the work. Same with Zay Jones, but I feel like Farrell's going to do better only because Crosby is going to be triple teams now. And same goes for Darren Waller. Last year, teams didn't know how to cover Darren Waller. He went off against Green Bay. Let's not debunk that. He was our only good piece during that game. But, teams didn't realize how good he was going to be because, he was a druggie the first 3 years of his career. He was on his low life. He was on the Ravens practice squad. By the way, Darren Waller is as good of a practice squad find as you're going to get. But anyways, he's going to be triple covered, and it's like he's not going to do as great. But yeah, I think Farrell's going to do better only because Crosby's going to be watched.
Yeah, I think Farrell will do better. Crosby's going to be double covered, and what do we have at D-tackle? Malik Collins will bring in a good pressure for our D-tackle. Mo Hurst will have another good year. Who else do we have back there? P.J. Hall, I don't think he makes the team.
P.J. Hall, we got to get him out of here. He was a McKenzie pick. God dang. I mean, what has he done? What has he done to, oh, dear.
Yeah, he won't make the team.
No. No.
One more question. Do you believe in Carr this year?
Do I believe in Carr this year? 100%. And if he doesn't do good with the targets that we're giving him this year, you know what? Screw it. Go with Mariota and go get Justin Fields next year or Trevor Lawrence. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
You know,
I agree there.
this is his last year, and you know, as much as I support Derek and as much as I love Derek as a player, he's got to start playing better. I mean,
This is a make or break year for Carr.
Yeah. So that's pretty much it, guys. I mean, anything else you want to say about the draft? Are you excited? I know you, like you said, you're excited.
I'm really excited to do the virtual draft party with you guys.
Oh yeah. I'll leak out some names who's going to be part of our draft party. It's actually going to be a really fun time. So I suggest you guys go ahead and hit me up so I can get you the link to that party when that happens. There is 10 more spots open. So if you want in on that, go ahead and contact me on Instagram. But it's going to be so much fun. You know, this fan page community has opened up a whole new reality for me and this whole, draft stuff and stuff. I'm really excited for the draft this year. Considering that we're now in, quarantine and everything, I've been, really on the draft, so I'm really excited. I mean, it's the only sport we're going to get, unless you're going to watch Michael Jordan's documentary on Sunday. Everybody, okay, real quick. Everybody, you guys got to watch that. 6-part documentary about Michael Jordan's last year with the Chicago Bulls. You guys got to watch that. It's going to be good.
It is going to be good.
It's really going to be good. I'm excited to see that.
Yeah, man.
So, likewise, like I said, I'm really excited for the draft. Let's hope that the Raiders take a receiver at 12. I'm pretty sure we're all going to be crapping our pants when the Jets pick comes on.
Yeah, we are.
I'm going to be scared, but, it's going to be a fun time. So, I'm really excited for the draft this year.
Yeah, so am I. I think this is the most excited I've been for the draft in upcoming years.
Yeah, and, even if the Raiders don't trade into the second, we know what we're doing because we have Mayock and Gruden. I mean, if this was a McKenzie draft, I don't know if we would be this excited.
I think, same. I think from 19 we're going to trade back for sure.
If we can package 80, 81, and maybe a fifth for a second, I'd do it.
Yeah, I would too.
And I think the interesting component in our draft, which probably will even get us a second, is the fact that we have 3/3.
Yeah, I think that who do we get those out of? We got one out of Gary and Conley.
Let's see. So we got one from. So one of them is ours. Okay, and so we got
one of them is ours.
One of them is ours, and then the other one we got from the Cleo Mack trade, which by the way, Raiders won that one, and. The other one we got from Houston via Seattle for the Gary and Conley deal.
Yeah.
So, yeah, thank goodness we got rid of Gary and Conley.
Yeah, he was not good. He was a 1-year wonder.
Yeah. Anything else you want to say?
No. Thanks for having me on the show today.
No problem. All right, Raider Nation. Hope you guys enjoyed the show, and as always, go Raiders. Tune in next time.